your obligation as a village is to provide police, fire, and street. Because we have a separate line for fire, our village, if you combine it, it's not that low. Your argument, okay, I understand your argument, but I'm gonna tell you, the other argument I'll make when the tax increases come, is you're not providing everything. If you add the fire and the village together, we are not.
Wait, there's a lot of municipalities that underneath the umbrella, they do not have fire. So we're not the only.
I'm gonna look at it.
But by law, we're not supposed to provide for it. That's why it's a
Okay.
That's why it's a fire district.
Okay, well, I'll do my homework.
And I would think that you would like it being a fire district, because if we all had our own fire departments, Howard Heights, us, and the unincorporated, what would that cost?
Well, on the flip side of that, one thing I'd like to see is a combination of police departments. We live next
Well,
door.
911 consolidation is coming.
Well, yeah, but let's get one police force under one roof instead of having two roofs. Norridge is already on the other side of the highway. This is something I think.
So the fire district would be like a police district, that's what you're
Sure,
saying?
make a police district.
Yeah,
under one
but
roof.
that fire district, when it was set up basically to save the money and let them take care of all three areas. That's what they did. So now we went from fire district to from garbage cans.
I
You know, if I was the other way around,
I went lower property
one
taxes.
subject, you know?
Illinois has the highest property taxes in the nation. Last year, I'll move along. Last year, I gave you this flyer, the brochure about the school district, not Giles, their spending. I have tweaked it a little
What is
bit.
that? What school district is that?
Giles district.
School district, yeah. Giles and Lee.
Yeah, I've tweaked the front page a little bit because I will be providing the community with facts about this increase. I would hope that you guys would take a position on this tax referendum. I don't care if you support it or oppose it. I just don't want you to take the politically correct side and say, well, it's none of our business. You guys are legal. Everybody looks up, you guys are legal. Either support it or oppose it. One of the two.
Well, this is a speech that you gave us, I think, back in November. That we're the godfathers of the village, that we should lead them. Well, I can tell you this, they have taxing bodies over there, they have elected officials over there. If you don't like what's going on over there, you run, or you get people to run that would maybe see what your ideas are. Now, as a board, I would think each person will make their own opinion.
Sure.
And that's how they're going to deal with it.
But I just hope you don't say, well, I'm not going to offer an opinion. And not as just as a resident, when you talk to people, either support it or oppose it. Yeah, I mean, because.
Well, I think right now it's very difficult to do in one because they don't have all the figures yet.
No.
So we have to wait.
Yeah, well, we have to wait till the whole thing comes in. And right. Like that. The last point is.
Another subject?
Well, I got it. I want to thank you guys for altering the water rate. It's a lot more fairer than it used to be. That's what I've been.
That's the second time that we've listened to you on an issue. I'm glad you at least came up and said, remember the garage sale?
Yeah.
Well,
it took sometimes 5 years.
Sometimes 5 years, something like we don't listen.
No.
And I guarantee you, your issue with the garbage cans will go in committee. They'll figure it out and they'll have some ideas.
The water rate is fairer than it was before. Most villages and towns tie their infrastructure fee directly to the water rate. The more water you use, the higher the infrastructure fee is. Chicago, their infrastructure fee or sewer rate is almost as much as their water rate. I have hope that you, in maybe next year when you tweak this a little bit, we need new sewers and stuff like that. I'm not opposed to paying for them. If you could spread the infrastructure fee out across the board. Right now, it's a flat $9 for everybody. I off the top of my head, if you charged everybody a dollar per thousand, that would make the minimum locked in at $6, and you could make that revenue up over the time like that. My other suggestion is, of course, we have more water increases coming from the city of Chicago. I'm hoping that you can freeze the minimum where it's at. And because everybody would be getting 6,000 at one rate, and after 6,000, if you could pass the increases over there. And eventually, we'd see a nice big savings on the minimum. I don't know if that's possible.
You do realize we have one of the lowest.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
No, I never.
Well, let's make sure we get that on the record.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, this
But
this village is not very lean right now.
No, I never said they were too high. I said they were unfair because the minimum was 8,000. It's a lot fairer at 6,000.
And I thought we took care of that a little bit when the committee, the water committee led by trustee Solanowski came up with the surcharge. And I thought that was something that was very fair, because everybody should pay for the infrastructure.
But I think that people are more, like everybody, all the other towns charge more. The more water they use, the more infrastructure people use. Okay? And I don't know if you remember, but I'm glad you didn't lower the minimum to 4,000. I told you, at 4,000, I got a small drip in my bathroom sink, and my dad's always complaining. I said, well, I don't have to fix it because I'm paying for 8. So I'm still, I don't have to fix that drip yet because it's 6. I use about 41 or 42. So unless you lower the minimum to 4,000, I don't have to fix that drip. Thank you very much.
Just so you know, we watch your house directly. It's on the screen every morning.
Okay, I want to thank everybody very much. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, Mr. Morrow, take care.
Just for the record, because I've been getting a lot of the phone calls regarding the garbage, I am telling people they cannot put out their bag because it is against village ordinance to not put your garbage into an actual receptacle. So there are people who the can has been too large for them, which is why we're altering to a smaller. But I told those people they have to use some kind of a garbage can that's covered. They cannot continue to put
That would be a good rule.
because 40% of the respondents, I want to say 40 off the top of my head, there were people who complained about the people who put out the bags. There's people who are upset at the people with
The
the bags.
village shouldn't pay for that. I mean, let's require everybody to have a covered garbage can. I don't care if it's 5 gallons, 10 gallons, 30 gallons, make sure they pay for it. You know,
I actually never thought we'd have a problem closing the lid.
We don't tell people to put it out in their
you
bags.
see the pictures there.
See that?
Well, no, I don't deny the pictures, but, you know, if they have some education sometimes of why we brought these, and this is what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we need some.
People are happy to get new anything, okay?
It's free, right?
You know, and that's the way it used to be in the city of Chicago. I don't know if anybody's from Chicago, but back when I was there, if you wanted a new garbage can, you had to go see your precinct captain, and he'd come over, and, you know, sometimes it cost
We
you
get 2 steel drums.
2 steel drums, sometimes it costs you a couple bucks. They look on the voters list, make sure you're registered voter. That's the way they did it in Chicago.
You paid to do that? Are you kidding me? Nobody paid. That's why they're in the problem they are today. Okay. Is anybody else would like to speak?
So we only give them
Step up, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
You look like you're a new person. That's, we're gonna ask you to introduce yourself.
Scott Coons, I'm at 4913 Clifton.
Okay.
I see one officer here. I was hoping to see the other one. I just wanted to give the village and the Norridge Police Department kudos. I was in my garage last week doing a little work,
Yeah.
and I was laying underneath there, and his officer saw me, and he must have thought I was maybe having a heart attack. He made sure I was all right. I wanted to see him. I see him in the village all the time, but I got that old car, and he came by, we talked a little bit. But I just wanted to tell you, you guys are doing a good job in a time when I think it's unfair what certain politicians do
I
against
will
our
pass it
people.
on. Do you know the officer's name?
Big guy.
Well, that could go for
I'm
anybody.
that size.
Yeah, they're all.
We got 2 big ones back there.
I'm looking. Make sure you pass the word. Scott, they see me all the time with that old car.
I think Mike Anthony Beckman.
It could have been. I'll look for his name. I see him when I stop for coffee myself. But keep up the good work, Jim. You guys are doing a great job. Our police force is second to none.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got a 73-year-old Buick.
Are you gonna bring it to the show this week?
I might. If I'm not working, I
Come
might.
on, don't, Mike.
Yeah, you know, I might. I got some stuff I gotta do, move off.
Scott, you need to show up to the meeting more often. After Mr. Moore, a positive one makes us feel
Well,
good.
I figured you could use it, but not really. You guys are doing a great job. You guys are,
Thank you.
stop by anytime on my.
Thank you.
Thank you.
About the schools.
Sure.
Anybody else like to step up to the hot mic tonight? Mr. Berger, what are you doing right in the back?
I just walked in, I have nothing to say.
Well, we're happy to see you. Anybody else? Okay, now I'm gonna ask to at this point, we will suspend this conversation.
We'll adjourn it, so.
We'll go into closed session. So I need a motion to go in closed session. Motion, trustee Canover, second, trustee Malinowski. Vote, please. 6-0. Okay. As soon as we get done with closed session, we'll do that.